Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze. Breezeway Productions The Breeze, bringing you the latest in independent films and film festival news. And we're continuing our coverage of this year's Tribeca Film Festival. And we have a producer here with us today to talk about his film, which will be in the festival, the film The Good Half. We have with us Michael Indjeain. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Alex. Great to be here.
Right on. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Tell me a little bit about the movie that's in the festival.
The Good Half is a film that is very near and dear to me. We recently filmed it, believe it or not. We wrapped production in late January, and here we are in June, and The Good Half is premiering on opening night at Tribeca. I served as the line producer for The Good Half. I'm also a producer and a director. But this being from New Jersey and the fact that the majority of the film was filmed in New Jersey, I took a great deal of pride into that. And, when the folks from LA came in and I knew we had a brilliant cast, I knew I had to bring it. We had to make things smooth and make a brilliant film. When I initially read the script, The Good Half, written beautifully by Renn Wheeland, I knew that we had a darling on our hands here. And this was before we were in fully cast. I knew that this script was special. This film could be special, and the world's going to see it this week. So I'm really excited about it.
Nice. Well, I'm sure that it's a great honor to be at the Tribeca Film Festival. They have a wonderful lineup this year. So it's interesting. I think you might be one of the first line producers that we've spoken with on the show. Can you enlighten me a little bit about your role on the project as a line producer? So what exactly did you do to help this machine function?
The line producer usually handles a little bit of budget, a little bit of set operations, but my strength when I worked with when our producer Russell Groves brought me on, he basically said, I need you to be running set operations. I need you to be the eyes and the ears on set and things like that. And I really ran set operations in New Jersey, and we also filmed a portion of this in Los Angeles, and I saw the film through in Los Angeles. My job was just to make the days smooth and make sure that our creative teams, our director, Robert Schwartzman, our DP, Michael Rizzi, had a smooth day, no disruptions. I want to make the creatives work their magic. Let our cast be brilliant and not be disrupted by logistical things. So behind the scenes, I worked feverishly just to keep double and triple checking and just filling gaps and just making sure we were a very smooth production. I loved working with everyone in the entire cast and crew, but that was my job, is just being lurking in the shadows and just making sure everything was smooth behind the scenes from a production standpoint.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you literally were the oil to help the machine run smoothly. So there's a shout out for other line producers that are really help moving things along. So tell me, you were reading the script and you called it the darling of a script. Why would you choose those words when after you had read the script? What really stuck out to you?
The Good Half was it just touched me. There were moments of comedy, there were moments of drama. There were there are some gut checking moments where your heart is in your throat, and the characters were three-dimensional. They were well written, and I felt that there was a constant shift in past and present. Like, if, for example, like when you're walking through life, you're going through heavy moments, and let's say you have to go to your job or you have to do something, you're in the moment, but you're constantly slipping back into the past and remembering things. And I think that was beautifully written. And I just felt with the right cast and the right execution, this film would be a film that audiences would gravitate to. And that's why I use the term darling. It's a film that I would want to watch. It's a film that I think that people, grief and loss are not, we want to go to the movies to disappear, right? And escape reality. But these are things that we need to address. But if they're done in the correct way, we can address our loss and address grief in a positive way. And I think that's what the script does.
Oh, okay. So then it helps people process, or you're watching a story of someone that processes this. And you talked about the cast. The cast that's involved is a lot of familiar names like Brittany Snow, Elizabeth Shou, and Nick Jonas and David Arquette. Tell me about some of the relationships you saw between the characters as they were, putting on their performances for The Good Half.
I thought the cast was brilliant when, in front of the lens, behind the lens, they were always working and preparing. It's funny because when we were on set, I shied away from interacting with the actors because they were always working. And I respect that professional space. When Nick is as Renn and he's preparing and showing up and being in character, I didn't want to disrupt that process. We're all professionals on the set. We all have a different process. And I didn't, I think it's sometimes selfish to go talk to an actor just because you may be, you may respect their work, but there's a time and place for everything. But when we're on the set, we're working, and, when everyone has a different process. Brittany Snow was wonderful to work with. She was very personable off the set. And Nick, it was funny when we wrapped production in LA, Nick came up to me. We had a little wrap party, and he sort of apologized to me. He said, I've been a little bit standoffish. I just want to apologize. I wanted to say hello, and I laughed because I know he was in his element. He was working, and I laughed and I said, Nick, I respect your space. You have a role to play here, and a big role to play here, and I didn't want to disrupt that. So we had a nice little chat, both being from New Jersey, and we connected. And it was I respected that a great deal. I respected his working space, but after the fact that he was mindful just to say hello to me, just talk to me, just have a little, caveat about that at the end of it was wonderful.
Yeah, some actors, when they really get submerged in their character, they kind of can really get attached to it. And then if he said that he felt standoffish, maybe that goes into his character development with the person that he's portraying, and it goes with everybody else that's involved. But the film is obviously being heralded as a wonderful project since it is included in this year's Tribeca Film Festival. Do you know when and where the film will be screening for this year's edition?
So we are very fortunate. We're going to be opening night Thursday, June 8th, 8 o'clock at the OKX Theater, which is, I believe, a large venue. We're also playing on Saturday, June 10th at 6:15 at the Village East by Angelica, along on Monday, June 12th, 6:15 Village East by Angelica. So we got some really nice theaters that we're playing in, and we're really excited about that.
Awesome. So it's just a couple of days away. So get your suit on and shine your shoes and get ready to walk the carpet and then smile for the cameras, because you're going to be having a red carpet premiere here in New York. And we hope that everyone that's checking out the interview is able to check out any of those screenings happening in the coming days for this year's Tribeca Film Festival. And I want to thank you for coming on the show, Michael Indjeain, to talk about the film The Good Half.